Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm not normally someone who rants a lot and complains about things. I just like to see the positive side of everything. But occasionally I get triggered myself. And just lately, there has been an awful lot of conflict energy around this. Most of the people that have been contacting me for readings in the last week have had situations where they are in a conflict. Some have involved the law. Some are they can't live where they want to live anymore because of neighbours. Some others are just being stalked or being hacked into their systems. And there's such a conflict going on with people. People are being very triggered. And I myself got triggered the other day. I had somebody contact me because they complained about one of the words that I use in my videos all the time. Instead of saying something, I say something. I put a K on the end. Anyway, fair enough. She wanted to complain about it. I took on her thing. I'm probably still going to say something because that's just who I am and what I've been trained to say. I'm not particularly thinking while speaking because it's just flowing through me. But that was okay. But it was underneath her comment came comments from other women about that psychics shouldn't charge for what we do. It's a God-given gift. We are naturally talented and we shouldn't charge for what we do. And normally I just roll my eyes. I'm like, you have absolutely no idea what I do in my life. The amount of hours that I give my time to people for absolutely no charge, hours and hours and years and years. I've been in the middle of cooking dinner and people that have got my messenger or my phone number have rung me with problems. I answer. I don't just make them wait. I answer. I don't have to. I'm in the middle of cooking dinner for my family, but I answer the message or a phone call and they unload. Oh my goodness, I'm going through this at the moment. I'm going through that at the moment. What am I going to do? And I engage with them. I listen to their problem and I try to help where I can. I don't get paid for that. And that I've had people that have contacted me for years and years and years with constantly getting whatever they can get out of me. I don't get anything in return. I actually asked somebody once, there was a guy and I was helping him through, he'd gone through a marriage breakup and he was struggling and we formed a friendship, and the friendship in his eyes was I should be there to do absolutely everything for him. I should answer him. I should give him all the free advice that I could, because that's what friendships do, right? Friendships are one person taking from the other person. And I said to him one day, what? I'm here to help you, yeah? And he said, yeah. And I said, what do you think I get out of this? What do you think I get in return? And he actually said, you're one of God's angels on this earth. You don't need anything in return. And I said, but I am actually in the physical world. I've got to pay my bills. I've got to eat food like you do. Do you think that God should just supply that for me? Like, because I'm so kind, I should just go around and help everybody and heal people and listen to their problems and give them foresight for their future and stop people from committing suicide. I should offer all that, and then God will give me a house to live in and food will appear on my table and all my bills will be paid. And he couldn't even comprehend what I was saying. It was in his mind, it was like, but you're here on this earth to help people. That's all you're here for. I mean, there was no concept in his mind that I am in a physical body. If I wanted to come here and just be that for him, I could do that in spirit form, which would be so much easier. I could just come in spirit form and help everybody, but then they probably couldn't hear me all the time because I didn't have a physical voice. But it'd be so much easier. I wouldn't have to pay bills. I wouldn't have to eat, you know. So these women the other day were saying something. Normally I just go, you have absolutely no idea what I do. And for the amount of years that I have done this. But what I got triggered was, I saw a story that there was going to be our Grand Prix in Australia. and it got cancelled because of COVID, and Miley Cyrus, I think it was, and Robbie Williams were supposed to appear. And because it got cancelled, Robbie Williams and Miley didn't get to come here. Robbie Williams was suing part of that because he missed out on $1.94 million from his appearance. $1.94 million for appearing. Now, in my mind, he's a singer. It's a God-given talent, but should he be having concerts for free? When someone paints a beautiful painting, should they give it away for free? Don't sell it. Like Pablo Picasso paintings that could go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They should be free, shouldn't they? Because that's a God-given talent. Anyone that can dance, a natural, beautiful ballerina, should be on stage for free. They shouldn't be charging people to go and watch. So isn't it a little bit contradictory to say, I will pay $250 for a ticket to a concert so that I can have 3 hours of entertainment, but I won't pay $30 to ask a psychic a question to put my mind at ease, to give me hope, or I won't pay $100 to a psychic for helping my anxiety and counselling me through life so that I can live a better life. Because I think I should not pay the psychic anything. They should just be there for me for free. But it's okay to pay $250 for a ticket to a concert where I can get 3 hours of entertainment, and then it's finished. Things like that, it doesn't make sense to me. Like when you're having an argument, the argument that you're having with me is that I shouldn't charge. I should just do this for nothing. But then people will go and spend their money on something else. I had somebody else that still is a chronic alcoholic. They used to ring me every single day at the same time when they were full of alcohol and unload all their problems. I'm on the other end of the phone. I don't believe I deserve that kind of, I should just give up my time to listen to their problems. And trying to talk to an alcoholic is like talking to a brick wall, because they don't get it. When they wake up the next morning and the buzz is worn off, they've totally forgotten what the conversation was about. Yeah, his money needed to go towards his alcohol. There was no way he was going to pay a psychic to better himself. He would much rather put money into alcohol to have a quick fix. And it sounds like I'm making a judgment. That's just the way I see it. That's the way I see life. It's like it stares you in the face. Where people will put their money for a quick fix rather than invest some money into something that could open up their whole world and to be a better person. And yet on the opposite end of the scale, then I come across the most amazing people that will never ever take my time for granted. They always will send me money. They buy readings. I have people that regularly buy readings, and I feel like they respect my time, and I try to give them so much. I give them so much from my higher self because of my appreciation for their appreciation for me. That's a mutual respect. They're respecting my time. They're respecting the amount of years that I've put into this. So as I do a reading back, the same respect's going to go back to them. And then out of the blue, I've had people just send me gifts. Like I've had people they haven't even had a reading off me and they've just sent me money. And I said, what's that for? And they said, because of the work you're doing for other people. So they are kind of paying it forward in their own life. They may have felt very appreciative of somebody but couldn't give anything back to that person. So they pass the money my way as a pay it forward. Or I've had situations where I have given, I would say, over 500 hours for over a 10-year period to somebody of advice, listening to them, talking through situations, and never got a dime out of them. And then all of a sudden they go and have a 1 hour meeting with a counsellor, and they say, oh, I just had the best meeting with a counsellor, where they've paid $200 for an hour session with a counsellor. And they say, oh, I got so much out of it. And I feel like saying, well, were you not getting anything out of the 10 years of... Is it because I don't have a certificate that says I am an official psychologist, or I'm an official something, like a certificate? Is it because there's no certificate there that lack of respect is there for psychics? Because you can't really train to be a psychic. You can't go to psychic school. It's a natural born gift. And if you're an empath and you are the person that everybody comes to, you will totally understand what I'm saying here. If everyone comes to you and unloads their problems onto you because you put out that natural empathy for people, do they ever give anything back to you? No, they don't. And do you know why? Because they don't think you need it. Because you are so together and you're so calm and you're so wise and you give rational answers to people, they don't think that you ever have a crisis in your life. So they don't need to give anything to you. You've got it all together. You're the perfect package. You're there to serve them. And there's probably a few people that have already switched off this video because I've triggered something in them that they don't like about themselves. They don't like the fact that they don't want to hear that they use people and they don't give anything back. They don't want to hear that they're selfish. So rather than keep listening, they would have flicked off already, because as soon as there's a trigger, it's a turn-off point. And it's like anybody that's in business, anybody that runs their own business, no matter what trade you're in, if you're a masseuse, you'll get somebody that will ring up and say, oh, my shoulder's really sore. Can you fix it today? Like, I'll be there in an hour. No consideration that your day might be planned, that you might have somebody else to see, that you might be, And are they willing to pay? Do they want to just show up and just get their shoulder fixed and not pay? Or if you're a painter and you paint houses, do they want to, and you happen to be a friend of theirs, do they suddenly want you to come round and just fix up? Can you just fix up that wall over there? They don't want to pay you for it. They just... Or a friend of yours might own something that you need, so you just borrow it. And it's fine to do that, but can you give back? Like, sometimes I have had the most amazing things done to me. Some really, really kind people have helped me out when I've been in really difficult situations. And I haven't been in a situation where I can pay them back, but I can pay it forward. But they might not see that. They might not always see that I'm paying forward to somebody else. That I am. So yeah, it just triggered me the other day when I was like, $1.94 million for just showing up for an event where someone could get a couple of hours of entertainment, and yet there is so many psychics out there and healers and teachers and people that are offering spiritual growth, and yet people don't want to pay for that. They don't want to, they want it for free. I totally get it, because you can go on the internet now and you can zoom through YouTube and get as much information. You can watch people talk about manifesting. You can watch people talk about predictions. You can watch about, there's so many tutorials and stuff that you can get off the internet for free. And I totally get that people are going to go looking for the free stuff. They don't want to pay all the time. But is there a point in your life where you can start seeing you're paying for things that are not serving your purpose, and you're avoiding paying for things that will serve your purpose? So what is it about your own worth that is putting that thought into your mind? Where is your worth for yourself, where you will put money into toxic substances, you'll put money into possessions before you will invest any sort of money in bettering yourself, learning more about yourself. Good question to ask yourself. But I don't, I just feel like there's this energy at the moment of conflict. I can feel it in myself, like, really? I don't have a man here or a partner that pays for everything, that pays for my rent, that pays for my food, pays for my electricity bill, pays for my water bill, pays for my fuel bill, pays for everything. I don't have anything. I have to support myself. So if there is nothing coming in, I can't support myself. So then I go out and get a full-time job, and I don't have time to do the psychic work. So, in the terms of this other person that thought I was a God-given angel on this earth, and I'm meant to do this work, how do I do that work if I'm not supported? So shall I go out and get a job and just give away all the psychic work, give away everything that I have learned in my life? Should I just not do that and focus on making enough money to pay my way? Can you see a predicament that this kind of field has trouble with? And there is such a stigma around. There are a lot of psychics out there that are not psychics, but that's in all industries. You see you only have to watch a current affair where you see people that claim to be house builders, and they build half a house and leave some poor person with half their house built, and they do a runner with their money. I mean, any industry, there's going to be people that are fraudulent, and then there's going to be people that are absolutely brilliant at what they do. But should they not be paid for their time? I think it's sort of a thing about judgment. Even when I go through the supermarket and I just say to the girl, gee, your shoulders or your arms must be aching today, just swiping all those. If you just stop for a moment and ask a person, how are you feeling, rather than expecting them to just be of service to you, it can change your whole life. Like, the way you have so much more gratitude when you start thinking like that than just expecting people to just be there. I just had to get a phone cover the other day because the protector thing, because my has broke my other one. And I went into the phone shop and I bought a new cover, and I asked the guy if he could put it on for me, and he put it on there. And I just said to him, "Oh, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day." And he looked at me like I was an alien. Like, he just really looked at me like, you just told me to have a nice day. Like, no one ever tells me to have a nice day. Everyone just expects me to do stuff for them. Through him. I don't know, we've become a society where we've forgot to be kind to people and just forgot to these small little bits of gratitude and just saying thank you. And if someone does something really kind for you and you are not in a position to be able to do something kind back to them, is there something that you can do to pay it forward to somebody else? Just keep that kindness going around. So I feel better now that I've had my rant, which I don't normally do. Very rarely out of all my videos have you seen me rant about stuff, but boy, like, I would like, would I like $1.94 million for showing up? Imagine if I got paid that for a 1-hour video. Hey, I think I think the world's a bit out of balance with things like that. So, and yet people are willing to pay for it. That's the thing, isn't it? Unbelievable. Anyway, I hope you all have a nice day. I hope you pay it forward somewhere along the line. I hope you find some kind of appreciation to pass it forward. And from me, for those of you that have always supported my work, continually pay me for my time, I want you to know that it allows me to continue to do this. It allows me, I'm not rich, I only have enough to just get through life, that's it, just to pay for food and basic needs. But by you paying for readings from me, it allows me to keep doing this work. Because if I didn't get those regular readings, I would be out working somewhere else and not doing any readings at all. So from my heart, truly, truly from my heart, I thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support you give me, and may you have an absolutely wonderful day.